While I set the body aside to cure for a couple of days, I needed to do something else in between. In this case, I'm starting off with the engine and also the chassis. The engine is of course the set from USCP and not stock from the kit, so I just needed to prep and prime those parts along with all the others, and could then paint them in various different colors and later on start adding some details with Vallejo and also Tamiya paints with a brush. The general colors have been applied with the airbrush, and the smaller detailing needed to be done with a brush and some Vallejo paints to start off with. The main engine bay was painted in the same color as the body of the exterior, just no clear coat added, as is mostly done on actual cars. Some of the lower parts need to be painted black to fade them into the background, and some other details like the bushings and rubbers on some of the chassis components also need to be painted black, while I still had it on the brush. With most of the black detailing now out of the way, I could move on to doing some in silver as well. Various parts in the engine bay again, and some others on the chassis. Some of the reservoirs that are molded into the engine bay needed to be painted white to match the originals a bit better. I firstly laid down a layer of silver to make it a lot brighter and easier for the white to cover, and then applied a layer of white from Tamiya on top to make them in the exact color I needed them to be. With all of the small details now painted and applied here and there, I could move on to assembling the entire thing with some regular superglue from Bob Smith Industries. All of the small parts and pieces fit together really easily from this USCP engine kit without any hassle or modifications whatsoever. I left it pretty plain at the moment. I might add some more details later on, but I'm not sure about that yet. In the meantime, I moved on to finishing off the chassis by gluing all of the separate parts and pieces together and making it one. With all of the assembly out of the way, I could move on to adding a bit more depth and detail with some Panelline accent color from Tamiya.